Nothing special. Yeah, then I'm gonna order one. I'm gonna order these check. I ordered an A&W and a Southern, but they're pre-ordered.
Alrighty. Twitch is up. YouTube's up.
Good to go.
We'll see what this thing's going to do because anybody Z400 just popped up here. AZ400. We're just doing a software test on streaming. I'm playing with some settings, trying to fine tune it so we can get
Johnny,
less buffering.
Johnny's playing with you.
Yeah, I'm playing with it. Okay. I'm playing with the settings. So, yeah, if you don't mind, hang out there in the chat. Let us know how it's going, how it sounds, how it looks. Let me
Actually,
know if you get any
we need some
buffering or not.
we need some feedback.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a few more people popping in going, what, Sunday night? I didn't see nothing about a show going on. No, this is just a test of the local social media network. Yeah, I'm basically looking to see. I'm going to have to let it run for a little while, see if we get any buffering on this and see what kind of load it puts on my CPU. Cause that's another thing, Andy. I changed the uh, stream coder or whatever you want to call it. I went from just .264 to NVIDIA H.264.
Yeah, so the 264 or 265 is the kind of newer standard for MP4 encoding.
Yeah.
NVIDIA's H264 is their proprietary codec for that, which also takes advantage of your NVIDIA graphics card hardware acceleration a little better than the native 264 does.
Well, the thing of it is, in this one, it gives me two NVIDIA's H.264s. One is marked new, and the other one's not. So I figured since the card's not new, I didn't go with the new one. I just selected the other one.
Yeah.
I figured the new one would have things that weren't pertinent to my graphics card.
Yeah, and you're a little more bleeding edge for that stuff. Acceleration for graphics has been advancing a lot here lately too, especially with the 265 codecs.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, so far, my CPU is really down because normally when I first start up, it'll hit around 25-30%, but right now it's sitting at 2.7%. Oh, like I'm saying, that low. Usually after the show gets started, about halfway through, I'll take a look at. I'm usually running about 14-15%, but it's down pretty low right now.
You got you got quite a bit of power. You got a pretty high clock cycle. It's an i5, but it's a lot of clock cycles.
Yeah.
He may have also done a little bit better memory management and processor management too than what he had in the previous version.
Yeah, OBS has got a lot. Considering that it's free software, it's really got a lot better as time has gone on.
Yeah, they made some pretty good improvements on the thing. I need Elgato to update their Stream Deck so I can put their start the replay buffer key on it. Right now, I don't have a way of doing it. So if I want to use that, I'll have to manually start it. No big deal. I think I can get only up to about 20 seconds of replay. Oh, okay, Ralph.
Yep.
Z400. Yeah, he was asking about the changing the decoder on the pancake motor. He said update on my DD 40X. It has one pancake motor on it. Also, the draw was one, so I'll just get the updated version.
Yeah. if the draw was only one, it was good. Sorry, you're not going to run it at full speed. So the amperage is not going to be that high.
Yeah.
Unless he has, since it's only got one motor, uh, you may not want to run really long trains because that's where your amperage is going to rise.
Yeah.
But if it trips out, it trips out. You shorten your train and you go a little further.
We get a few more jumping in. Michael, Jeff just popped in, so let you guys know, and Brad. I'm just running a test. I did some changes on our streaming software, so I'm trying to alleviate the buffering during the shows. So uh, my streaming software has been come up with some new updates. So I've been making changes, see if I can improve it. And that's the reason why we're in here tonight. Hey Ken, how you doing?
We just wanted to have a party.
Yeah, so you guys got any questions? Go ahead and ask them. We got a few people here in the panel tonight, so.
I didn't do it though. That's my default answer.
Good one.
Although YouTube has gone to bad video settings, so I'm in the red on YouTube.
Yeah, they're so finicky. The streaming is so weird. I mean, that's the reason we added Twitch. So if, especially with, when Ralph's doing the weathering show, that'll really benefit. You can get a much higher quality 1080p stream, whereas YouTube shows 1080p a few hours after we're complete once it's processed, but
Yeah.
it's only like 360 while we're live streaming.
Yeah, I changed these keyframes a while back, about a month or so, and it's still saying frequency is 8.3 seconds. The current keyframe frequency is 8.3 seconds. I think it needs to be down 4 or below to have a good, healthy stream.
Yeah, I normally years ago I used to keyframe I think maybe every second, so every 30 or every 30 frames, they were 29.97 frames. So every 30 frames I keyframe.
Yeah. I know there was a setting in there somewhere it's about keyframes. I changed it because it's always set on 0, so I changed it to 2. It seemed to help for a little bit, but tonight I'm getting back to the red again. But I hadn't buffered any yet, so of course it says Sunday night. May not be as many kids online tonight. But it does look like the CPU is at a lower usage than what it has been. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely.
I'm doing like I normally do in shows. I've got the live and the recording going.
But whereby takes a bit of power too, especially. I mean, it takes a bit of power no matter how you run it. But Chrome browser, which does this best, takes more power than I would like. That's why I don't like to run Google Chrome very much because it's a little power hungry. And then Whereby is pretty power hungry too, so you need quite a bit of CPU power left over.
Yeah, but Chrome is the only one that really plays whereby properly.
Yeah.
Right. Firefox does, but with some trade-offs. Like you can't set your default audio out device. You have to set Windows default audio out, which is annoying.
Exactly.
Yeah. I recommend Chrome to everybody. You can do it in Firefox, but it's not necessarily for the faint of heart. I mean, it's not that crazy complicated, but it's annoying.
Yeah, I tried working on this static that's on my mic, which it would probably help if I move it down here where everybody can hear me better.
Seems okay. Your audio seems pretty good. As long
No,
as your
see
levels are
on
high.
no Andy on whereby I use my C920.
Oh, I got you. And
And
you're
I'm
using the
using
USB.
I'm using the 2020 for the show.
Yeah.
But it picks up a lot of static. I played with it on my other computer, and even using the VST plugins, I still couldn't get the static down that much. And then after I shut it down and turned the computer back on later, the microphone wouldn't even work. I had to go in there on the noise gate and shut it down all together to get the microphone to work. It killed the microphone. My mic, my 2020. So I got to figure that one out.
And I have some kind of weird issues with my USB bikes are a little bit finicky.
Yeah,
Mine's pretty good, but it's still finicky occasionally.
yeah, because the what is y'all's microphone is coming internally, so it never has any static on it. Cause I'm having to use the speakers for y'all's microphone out onto the show. But mine usually picks up the static, so yeah. The C400 saying Andy has a bit of an echo, but I don't hear any echoes here, so that must be something somewhere else there.
Are you guys getting echo from me in the whereby?
No,
No.
Okay. I'm just using the C920, right? That's all it is.
yeah, that's usually a good microphone.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 920, 922, whatever version this thing is. They work pretty good. I mean, for a whereby, they're as good as you need. I like the Logitech Brio a little better, but
Really?
yeah, I was looking at buying the Brio. It's a 4K. When I bought that camera, the new camera I have at the house, which is a Microsoft Connect sensor turned into a webcam because it was the more cost effective way to get a pretty high quality sensor with pretty good microphones in it. The Brio is a couple $100 and 200 or $250 from Logitech, but you could buy a Microsoft Connect sensor right now. They were 200 something dollars when they come out, but you can buy them for about $50 right now and 30 or 35 for the USB connector kit instead of hooking it to an Xbox, hook it to a computer. So you're like $80 for a pretty doggone good camera.
Hey,
And look,
Eric.
I can
Eric.
turn it into a 3D scanner.
Eh.
The Kinect.
Yeah, Connect it
Yeah.
is a 3D scanner, so it'll do more sophisticated stuff. Like you could use Blender and the Blender software, and you could map your movements in and stuff. I have the wireframing tools installed on the computer for that, but it also works really good. It is a very cost effective or inexpensive, really high quality webcam.
No, I'm just going to let Eric know that we're running live right now. I'm just testing out the software. I made some changes to it. Just want to let you know that we are live on YouTube, Twitch.
We're live.
Yeah, just so you know.
So he's just telling you that. So that's just that's that don't do anything I would do kind of recommendation.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't need any
You do,
surprises.
if you do name it after me.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, little Ralph. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what changes I could really make on this on the fly.
Some of them you can't change your screen settings or canvas sizes or anything. They're just the screen. I bet you can't even change keyframing or anything.
I've really got to take this monitor down and put some shims behind it. Shift it down.
Stop it from moving. You realize it's a full moon tonight, eh, boys?
Yeah.
Supermoon, isn't it? It's the first
Oh,
supermoon of the year.
is it?
First
I think
full
so.
moon of the year. You're right. And they call it a super moon.
Listen, I looked when I was out a minute ago. I didn't see a cape or nothing. I don't know what's so super.
Yeah, it doesn't really say on my calendar other than it's a full moon. It doesn't say super.
I seen somebody posted a pretty good joke on Facebook a couple days ago or something that their wife was angry or something, so they so they draped the towel across her shoulders. Was that you, Ralph, who posted that? I think somebody did. So draped the towel across her shoulders and called her super angry or something like that. That didn't win him any cool points, but it was funnier on Facebook.
All right, now YouTube decided no. Yeah, it went green, but it's back to red.
Yeah, I may have to mess with that sub, but Air Multicast server is going to change sub here soon anyway with that new server I got.
Uh, I just got watching CPU staying down really low, below 3%.
And we can handle a few frames lost.
That's,
3% is kind of on the edge of what I would like to see. I'd like to see it sub 1%, but we could do okay with that.
well, that's the CPU, so. But then
Oh,
it's
yeah.
using. Now I've got it set on the video card, so that could be part of it too. That video card's working a lot more than the CPU, so that's
Yeah, you
probably
can look
what
at
not my CPU usage. Yeah. Well, the thing of it is, CPU doesn't have video on it.
No, well, and it's even if it has a video card on it, they still look to the operating system as independent systems. You could look in your task mode and go to performance, and there's a GPU toggle down there, and you can watch the meter for your GPU and see how hard it's working. Or you can do it inside the NVIDIA utility too, inside the NVIDIA GeForce utility.
Hmm.
The only reason you probably need to care about that is if you start having heating problems, because video cards can really put out some heat.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a dual fan card.
Yeah, this guy who built actually there's numerous people who've built Bitcoin mining rigs out of graphics cards because that's what you do, and used heater elements to build space heaters. So in the wintertime you could run a Bitcoin mining rig and warm your feet or warm your room up and make a few bucks while doing it.
Yeah.
You can't buy Bitcoin anymore and make any money though. You used to could.
Let's see if I can get Task Manager without. That's Control Alternate Delete, isn't it?
You can, or you can right click on your taskbar at the bottom of the screen and click Task Manager.
Well, I just shut the. All right, here it comes up. It just gives me Chrome, OBS, and Stream Deck.
What does?
Task Manager.
Click. What does it say? More options or something to expand
Oh,
it.
more details.
More details.
There
Sorry.
you
Once you
go.
click that, the next time you open it, it'll always open it in more detail. So I always
Yeah,
forget.
okay, I guess I hadn't had it open on this new computer.
Sure, of course.
All right, background process. Is that what I'm looking for?
Performance, the performance tab, and that'll give you some cool meter graphics.
Well, let's see. Just in this one, it says got 4 apps. Yeah, Chrome is at basically 22 on the CPU.
Chrome always takes the most of anything. I have,
And it's
Or-
probably got more than one application open.
yeah, and I have probably 300 or 400 tabs open in Firefox right now. I have 2 open in Chrome, this and my security camera software because both work good in Chrome, and Chrome is taking twice what Firefox is with the 400 or so tabs open.
Yeah, and performance CPU's 35% at 3.84 gigahertz. So
And you have a
it's
memory and a hard drive and a network and a GPU, probably. You may or
yeah,
may not have a GPU.
GPU is only 16%.
Well, okay, so you are cooking pretty good on your GPU because just showing your monitors should run the GPU up to 16. But that GPU, I don't remember exactly what you got, but you'd have to push it pretty hard to get it up to 40 or 50%.
It's the 970 GTX 970, I think it was.
Yeah, okay, plenty for what you're doing.
Because yeah, I just clicked on GPU. Uh, Video encoder 16%, 3D's 9%.
Yeah, 3D is your probably just your desktop environment because you're not using 3D in your video. That's just the
Yeah,
encoder.
yeah, but the video encoder 16%. So
Yeah,
it is using it then.
that's good. That makes it not only does it take load off your CPU and put it on the GPU, but the GPU is just better at doing that job.
Yeah,
Because a CPU might have 4, 6, or 8 cores. A GPU will have 280 cores or 340 cores or something. It's a big difference.
yeah, mine had 200 and something. I forgot what the number was on it. Got a new
Yeah,
card I bought. It only supports 3 monitors in the work computer. It had less cores on it, but it's a higher efficient video card than this one.
yeah.
I
There's trade-offs. There's a lot to consider with a video card. RAM or GDDR, the graphics RAM, how fast the graphics RAM is, and how much of it. Your CUDA core count. There's a
yeah.
lot to it, and the generation matters a lot.
What's this Ethernet? It says S 8.1, R is 5.6 megabytes.
Send and receive.
I'll send and receive. So I'm sending 8.2.
Yeah, because you're sending up to us and you're sending to the multicast server, which is about 5 megs, about four plus 4 to 5 megs. And then when it gets to the multicast server, we split it and it turns into 10 or 20 megs because we're sending it to 3 or 4 places.
Yeah, it keeps bouncing around about 7 to a little over 9.5 megabytes.
Yeah, what you send to the multicast server is pretty rock solid stable no matter what you do. But up here uses or whereby uses some kind of fancy encoding techniques on your local side, which will work your CPU a little harder. So depending on how much motion there is, get up and do jumping jacks or something, and you'll that motion you'll see the bandwidth go up a bit.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Or
not
if you wear
going
a
to do
bright
that.
phone,
My foot hurts too bad right now.
I won't go put nobody up to do a jumping jacks at 10:30 at night. That ain't or 11:30 at night. That ain't right.
Anyway, it seems like I brought the CPU down on the OBS. Just we've been into this almost 24 minutes now. And YouTube's still showing the video not being good, but Twitch has still always been good.
Well, and I may need to, especially when we restructure the multicast server, I may need to make some changes at the multicast server because right now all I'm doing is taking whatever you're sending me and sending it on. But I can remux that or MUX, but remux that, and I can force keyframes handing out to YouTube different than I'm handing out to Facebook or to Twitch or to Periscope.
Yeah,
But I'm not doing any of that right now. It's just it's a splitter. It's a very complicated splitter, but it's a splitter.
yeah, yeah. Because YouTube's seeing the server, they're not seeing my stream.
That's right. Now the server's supposed to be fairly dumb and all that, but there's a lot of jumps in there. But also, I set that up here at the office on the 250 meg cable or fiber rather that I have here. But you're able to send it into here where I can. When I send that new server to LA, I'm going to send our multiple server through the LA data center where I have, where I have 10 gigabit connections. So, not that we need it, but having that much overhead means that there's some benefits. That new server is ridiculous. These AMD systems, they just come out with an AMD workstation processor like 2 weeks ago. It's like a 64 core workstation processor. It is the $4,000 chip, but it's a 64 core workstation processor. Single processor, 64 cores.
Uh,
Do you guys know if anyone does that? Anyone models that?
Yeah, Mike Buddy, scratch built one.
well, a car crusher.
No, it's an auto. It's a car hauler where they strap the cars to the door and then lifted the doors up, so all the cars are standing up vertically in the car.
Huh.
Mike Buddy scratch built one and showed it on Kim Patterson's show once. I'm pretty sure he might have posted on Facebook, but I think he showed it on what's
Did
new.
didn't the Pennsylvania Railroad have those? Or was that too late for them?
It's possible. No, they were running car haulers at the very, very, very last couple years of the PNC. I mean, I'm sure probably the PNC would have. But the PNC was a pretty experimental railroad. Pennsylvania was the first railroad that anybody I know has ever pointed out that ran containers. They had containers back in the 20s. They were proprietary to the Pennsylvania, but they were containers.
Yep, that's an auto rack.
Yeah, it's an auto rack. I forget. There's a name.
not-
For it. There's a special name for it that Mike Buddy mentioned when he was talking about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's totally an auto rack.
That's a doodle bug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone listed it as an auto rack.
Yeah, nobody has made. Bachman made one of those some years ago. That isn't that great. Nobody made anything like
Catherine made that car as well, but they didn't make it with operating doors.
Oh, okay. Nobody's done what Rapido did for the RDC, though. Nobody's made such a good model as that. That Rapido RDC is.
The proto was pretty close.
Yeah, and I'm a big. I really
Yeah,
like
yeah, those.
That's my favorite auto racks right there.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too.
I like them open like that. Nobody makes a great one of those except for Overland in brass, and I'm not paying that price
Yeah.
for several of them.
Paul G was
Buddy.
Paul G was saying Verta Pack, VERT.
Vertipack. Yep, Vertipack. That's what Mike Buddy called it. That's that where the cars are loaded on the doors and turned up sideways. They're called Vertipacks. You got to look. You got to watch. Go back a year, give or take, on what's neat this week and look it up because I'm pretty sure Mike Buddy talked about it on there.
My buddy, I don't know if you can see. Go back to the screen to show you guys. Up there in the top right, these are the cars he's given me, and then up there in the top right, I noticed that a while back. It looks like one.
It's probably the AccuReady or the AccuRail cars.
There's a wood kit.
Well, maybe there are some of those too, but AccuRail, and I think it's the AccuReady kits by AccuRail, but it might just be regular AccuRail. Makes the open frame auto racks that are a good starting point. There's not that much detail on them anyway, so if you put some cut levers, a couple grab irons, a little bit of, a couple pieces of chain here and there, you can have and weather the crap out of it. You can have a pretty good looking car for a few bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adrian and Marty just joined in, so just to let y'all know real quick, I've been playing around with the settings on my for streaming shows, trying to figure out if we can get this buffering to calm down on some of these shows. So tonight's just a test. I've been tweaking the software some, so Want to see how it's going to work out before I start using it.
This is just a test. If this was a real emergency, Ralph's hair would be on fire.
Yeah.
What's left of it.
Paul
He gets
G
short
was
fire then, so I don't know.
Paul G said AccuRail makes open auto racks. Athearn just came out with the Genesis version too.
Oh, okay. I'm glad about it. I mean, look at I don't. I'm going to be running open auto racks, some of them in my more modern modeling era. And the AccuRails are a fine starting point, but they're effectively just you got to do a bit of work to them. But if Aether Genesis has some pretty good looking auto racks, open frame auto racks, I'm gonna be real happy about that. I'll look them up.
Yeah, Marty said he's got one here. AUSCISION makes a open car carrier.
Austrasian,
Precision, yeah.
Australian prototypes. Their Austrasian is one of those companies that like Scale Trades or Rapido or some of those that will make you want to model something. It's so good. It makes it would if you cared all about foreign railroading, and I like all railroading. It makes you want to buy a couple pieces of Austrasian stuff just to build an Australian diorama or something. It's
Well,
beautiful.
hey, I'd like to have one of their diesels on my layout. Never mind as an Australian layout on my layout
Sure.
because I'm proto Lance. I
Yep.
proto
would.
freelance, man.
Well, I mean, you could say you can make up a story about something. My argument for things in general is people say you can find an exception to the rule, or you can find a prototype for anything you want to do, which is mostly true if it doesn't defy principles of physics. The problem is so often people try to pack in a small layout, they try to pack in every exception to every rule that has ever existed in the world. And what we need to model, in my personal opinion, is a little more of the regular everyday railroad stuff with a few of the exceptions to the rule in it. It's believable that way. You want the exceptions, they're interesting. What's that German locomotive you have that the SP ran?
Me?
You got a yeah, Ralph. It's SP ran that thing. It starts with like an M or something. It's a German.
Oh, the Kraus Mathway.
Okay, it starts with a K. I love that thing.
But that was an acquisition that Southern Pacific and Union Pacific, no, Southern Pacific and Rio Grande tried to use to run their coal trains, and it didn't work out for them. But they still had it. It's a very large engine, and actually, I think it has two diesels in it. Kind of weird shape, but still didn't
I
work out.
Marty's got up here. Y'all talking about that engine? I guess he said you could say the Southern Aurora train took the wrong turn at Albuquerque. And Adrian, to let you know, I did come back across my Trainmaster email about their moving. Their new hours will started February the 10th, so they will be closed on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesdays, and only be open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the hours are 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. So he's coming back to stores open 4 days. I guess he'll probably use the 3 days off to start packing stuff up. I haven't been down there to talk to him, so I don't know what their timeline is on when they got to be out, or if he's got another store that he's working on right now, or what. I thought I might get down there today, but I didn't. So I'll have to wait till Wednesday or something, try and get down there maybe.
Here's the Aussie loco that I would like to see on my layout.
Yeah, I dig that too. 6-axle. Yeah, I like that one.
What I like about it is the big square cab.
Yeah, it looks like one of those kind of maintenance away rail grinders or whatever. Trey.
Exactly. That's exactly what it looks like. And with the ladder and railings at this point, it's sort of the one third. It kind of reminds me of the DDA DD40 AX as well.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have
Shorter.
correlated
It's
that.
not quite as long.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't have correlated that, but that. Yeah, that's. I agree.
But at that price, and then shipping from Australia, I don't think so. 330.
So
I'll have to talk to Marty and see if he can bring one with him and then send it to me from the US.
He's coming over to Kansas City.
He's coming for the next NMRA, and I think he's coming for the prototype meet,
Yeah, that's going to St. Louis in July.
St. Louis.
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming for the RP, or he's coming from for the national and state with RPM.
I think he's coming for the RPM. Yeah.
Well, crap! I wasn't going to come back for the RPM. It's only 2 weeks away, but I probably will. I mean, it's close to me, so I probably will go back over there if Marty's there.
So somebody posted this in one of my Facebook modeling groups on HF. Their cat stepped on their layout.
Oh yeah, a lot. You see that a lot. I've seen. Yeah, I've seen various pictures of people doing that. My cat's got on mine one time, but I said that was the benefit of putting the layout up so high, but she found a way to get up there just to try to prove Ralph right, because I think he said she'll find a way, and she did. But I've stopped that now.
Well, that's not the funny part. The funny part is that somebody said a good idea would be to get an electric fence shock collar and then put the electric fence around the perimeter layout. And someone said, notice, this friendly method can work on the wife and kids as well.
Yeah.
By the way, Marty said that that price is without DCC or sound.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
$330 without DCC and sound. It is a nice logo.
It is.
It's not.
And they're low volume.
It's not worth 330. Is it 330 in Aussie, Marty, or is it less? That's the manufacturer's suggested retail price.
I like the Victorian.
Heck,
Railway.
Marty, come into the chat, Marty, instead of being into the video chat. Come
Right.
into our room.
Don't be camera shy.
Talk to us.
I like that Victorian Railway paint scheme on that locomotive. That's like two F units that were backed into each other too fast or something.
Yeah. I like that too.
That's the one I would want. I think I'm fascinated by that one. And when I was modeling 1950, I was going to be modeling not right away, but when I grew the layout again, I could model the electrics. One of the big reasons I was modeling 1950 is that I could run the box cab electrics. Speaking of having bought that Cross Machur or whatever from Germany, that's where the Norfolk and Western bought these box cabs from Germany in like 1912 or something. And
Yeah,
run them to 1950.
Marty said the average cost on an Aussie loco with DCC and sound is $450 to $500, and he's just stuffing his face with lunch right now.
Well, that's too bad. Is that 450? Is that local manufactured or?
Yeah. He said the average cost of an Aussie loco with DCC and sound is $450 to $500.
Wow. So you can add another $60 for shipping to Canada. And then I have to add another $100 for a decoder. Not going to happen.
Well, if you're getting it with DCC, you don't need the new decoder.
Right, yeah, if you pay the $450 and get it with the decoder. I bet they put ESU decoders in them
The
too.
decoder that they put in it probably is not ESU.
Yeah.
Probably soundtracks. Tsunami.
If it's not ESU, I would rather it be DCC ready. I could skip any other decoder but ESU.
I agree. I agree. And I really don't care whether it's DCC ready, because at that point, I'm going to put in the ESU decoder I want, and I will wire it myself.
Absolutely, I'm not afraid of that either. I don't want their decoder. Uh, I wish you could buy like the Broadway limited locomotives without decoders. I do not like their decoders. I wish you could buy them without, but you can't. They're all.
All right, gentlemen, it's getting late. I will see you all on another day.
All
Okay,
right,
Chris,
Chris. We'll
Yeah.
catch you
go
later.
stay
Have a good
home.
week.
Yeah, I'm not on call this week. I just came off a call. I was up in Kentucky the other day. I
Oh
was
yeah,
in Catlettsburg, it's by West Virginia.
yeah, far side of the state. Yeah,
Yeah, I was right on the other side of the state. Because if I remember right, you're on the west side of the state, right?
I am. I'm originally from over there though, so that's real close. That's right across the river from Ironton, Ohio, basically, right there.
Yeah. I
Yep.
was way up there. Yeah, I was up there at the marathon plant. I drove up there and back.
Yeah, my stepdad hauls fuel out of there, out of Catlettsburg all the time.
Yeah, I brought one gasket.
All right.
No, this is absolutely hilarious. Okay, I drive a flatbed pickup. All right, so usually you're carrying like 3 or 4 pallets. All right, so I show up and it's 50 inches. Well, the inside of a pickup truck in between the wheel wells is 48 inches. All right, so but the box is 50 inches because the gasket itself is 48 inches. And they're not smart enough to realize that they can stack 2 pallets and then set it on top of that and it'll fit in the back of a pickup truck. So they paid me a shitload of money to bring one gasket 1,000 miles because it has to lay flat. You can't stand it up.
Well, what a coincidence! And I like laser money, so I get it. I'm good.
So, yeah, I love those kind of runs. Got no weight on you whatsoever, no air drag, no nothing. It's just sitting in the back. Happy trails. But anyway, I'll see y'all later.
All right, have a good one.
Yeah, Chris.
I sound like a complete idiot saying this, but what railroads were around in the 1950s? I can't remember a total lot of them.
What railroads were around?
Yeah.
Oh, there was about 180, I think, class ones. Probably 400 class twos and threes. There's only 5 class ones now, but back in around 1950, I think there was something just shy of 200 class ones.
We'll have a lot of cars to find then. I'm looking for as much East Coast stuff.
There's a lot. If you're modeling that 1950, you got a massive range of stuff from all the way from Boston to Maine up north, all the way down to the Florida East Coast on the south.
Yeah, because down here around me was L&N, Central Georgia.
Yes, Central Georgia.
The,
NC and St. L.
got the airline down here.
Yeah, Seaboard Airline and Seaboard Coastline that merged to ultimately become CSX. But the Southern, of course.
Yeah,
there's a lot, man. What I would do, if you don't care about a particular railroad, the key, in my opinion, is to figure out what do you care about. So if you care about a certain railroad, then find where they ran and figure out what part of their system you want to model. If you don't care what railroad it is, figure out what geographic region you want to model. Do you want to model, and if you want to model of a prototype, do you want to model New Hampshire and Vermont, or do you want, the New England states, northern New England states, or do you want to model Pennsylvania or New Jersey or South Carolina? Those are all very different technically and operationally. And what industries, and maybe that might matter the most. What industries would probably set your place in time more than anything else?
Yeah, real quick, it's getting late for Sparky, and he was asking, I guess it's ESU Locksound, which one of those do you buy the programmer for?
You can program the V4 or the V5. You can't program the 3.5 or the Select. right, Marty? Marty's had pain with this.
You can program the difference between. There's two ranges of decoders in Loxan. You've got the V4, V3.5, V5s. They're all full versions, and you can manipulate all the sound files, all the individual files. The select range of decoders they have a package of sounds that you upload to the decoder, and you can't change them around, but you can upload different packages of sound. And they're a little cheaper, but the best one's a V5 or a V4. You can program all of them all the way back to V2 version 2s.
But you can't do like the full throttle feature set on a select, right? You have to have a V5.
No, the select doesn't have full throttle. Only the V4, V5 have that. V3.5 doesn't have it, and the V3 or 2s don't have it.
That's the thing that wins me over. That full throttle feature set or the drive home functionality. The selects are fine. ESU does have the best sound in the business, so you can't go wrong with any of them. But if you care about prototype sounds, the locomotive sounding like it's actually working its butt off when you're cruising over when you're climbing a grade at 6 miles an hour and it's on its knees, but in notch 8.
ESU are the only ones that make a decent sound decoder to go in N scale, and without their decoder coming out, it was pretty hard to put a sound system into an N scale loco.
All right, Marty, I need you to say yes to Brad.
What's he said?
Just say yes to Brad.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
Yeah, Brad was saying, Marty, you're going to be in the train shed tonight, but now that you're in the train shed, so.
Yeah, I just got home before, did the paperwork, and I just made some lunch, and I've come out here, fired the air conditioner up, so I ain't going anywhere.
How you doing, Brian? And to let you know, we're doing a test, so this is not a scheduled show, but I am broadcasted, so I can test some changes I made to the software.
Okie doke.
I'm just trying to see if I can get less buffering on these shows.
But you wanted Ralph was looking at some Aussie locos. Well, there's some of the Aussians, and they're now coming out with Locksound version 5, 475 Australian, which would probably work out to be about $11.50 American with the exchange rate at the moment.
Yeah.
No.
Z400 said $500 Aussie is going to be $333.65 US.
Yeah, sounds about right.
There's your double again. Andy, there's your double-ended one.
Yeah, B class.
And that Victorian paint scheme, it looks very Americanized. So that would be me buying an Australian locomotive that's as Americanized as you can get looking, but I love it.
Well, I got 9 of them in the fleet. So
wow.
9 Aussians. They had a batch that were done that these grills didn't glue down properly. So they sold them off for $100 each.
Oh, man. I would have took that.
Yeah, when you consider they were $300. So, I bought a heap of them, pulled the grills off, refitted them, just trimmed them a little bit and refitted them so they fitted properly. And they've all got Locksound version. They've probably all got Locksound version 3.5s in them.
You got a lot of those, don't you? A lot of 3.5s?
Yeah, I got about 20, 21 3.5. So I started buying Locksound decoders 2003. The lock programmer I got here, it's the very first one. It's actually clockwork. You put a key in the side of it and wind it up. No, I'm just joking. But it is a serial port programmer.
Like real RS-232 serial?
Yep.
Well, you have been at this a while.
So I've had Locksound decoders for ages. I did have a version 2, but it did die. And I had a version 3, and then the rest are all 3.5s. I've got a couple of 4s. I've not bought a 5 yet.
But they were
when I was in the States, when we went to that hobby shop in just after going to Miles's place, I ended up buying about half a dozen version 4s, 21 pins.
I remember that. I remember you getting excited about the price you had on them or something.
So, and
Yeah.
I've still got one of those in the cupboard here. So,
Real quick, Eric. Paul G just said, buy a hardcover book on your favorite railroad, the kind with lots of pictures. It will show what typical train concepts looked like back then, including car types and road names and paint schemes.
Yeah.
Well, I think Joe Fugit was talking about on the show the other day about it might have been in our earlier meeting and not on the show, but about the disposability of income and where people spend their money. People spend their money closest to the track, he said. So they'll spend their money on locomotives, rolling stock, track, possibly DCC. Then as you get out into structures, that money goes down, and scenery, the money goes down, and then you get into books and railroadiana, whatever. The money goes down. Those books are, I don't know how to say that exactly. So
That's okay.
the books can be quite expensive. I bought several hardbound books, and they're in low print numbers and sometimes hard to find. And I paid $160 for one of the books I've got that was originally run for $29.95, but because they're hard to find, I paid, and I looked for it for a year before I dropped $160 on it. So that could be a real thing. I mean, the internet's amazing. Back when I was in the hobby, if you cared about prototype, you had to buy books, and they weren't cheap then either.
Well, Adrian just said, or study online at certain websites or railway YouTube channels.
Yeah, I was just gonna model the Pennsylvania Railroad, Fort Wayne branch, but I'm sort of changing off that because you can sort of see right here, that route doesn't have a big main line or anything. It's just a branch line, and I have so much room I can do a.
Have you seen the Appalachian Model Railroading site? Appalachian. I'll look it up. It's called AppalachianModelRailroading.com.
I think I've heard of it.
That's here. I'll paste a link in the chat. That is a great one if you care about modeling in the Appalachian Mountains. He has track plans, which take or leave them, but there's articles about how they operated, and multiple people have wrote different articles about different styles of operations, different railroads, how they merge together. It's a really good resource for that specific geographic region. And then there's other little groups too, like there's a Fallen Flags website that Mike Coughlin used to run, and they used to put out a magazine until like 2017, like a quarterly magazine or something that was largely around the New England railroads, especially Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. And there's some good stuff. It's all about, narrow down the region.
Going back to your books, the books that were put out, and most books that are put out are what they consider coffee table books. So they're larger than most.
Yep.
And they're high quality photographs and so on. So it's not that it's highly priced. You get what you pay for.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I've done a tremendous amount of research on the internet, but the best value I got for actual prototype information was a few of the books I bought. I bought 5 or 6 books on the Norfolk and Western of historic value. If you're modeling modern, all that information is out there. If you're modeling transition era or before, not all the information's on the internet. Also, I'd pick a railroad to join the Historic Society. I think I pay like $8 a year or some really small amount of money to the Norfolk Western Historic Society, and they give you access to a massive trove of information.
Yeah, Andy Sparky says he's still waiting on you to send him a link to his railroad, the CASO, CASO.
Sparky's still up?
What am I sending him a link to? He'll be waiting a while. He'll really be waiting a while if I forgot.
Yeah. I think he's already been waiting a while.
Well, probably.
CASO.
Oh, CASO. It's a division up here.
I wouldn't wait up for it, Sparky. It might be a while.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think to be
Especially
forgivable.
since Andy's from Kentucky.
That there's that going for you. Plus, here it is. 11 o'clock my time on a Sunday night, and I'm at work, so not for much longer though.
That's all right. It's 10 to 3 on Monday afternoon, and I've knocked off.
Oh, I'm envious. That government work, brother. I'm envious.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep saying. I'm semi-retired. This is what I've been running on the Proto Throttle. A couple of these MU'd.
I like those too. They look like
Couple of T
Fairbanks
Series 1 T classes.
Yeah, it looks like a Fairbanks Morse to me. Like a Fairbanks Morse, like whatever those H11s, I think they are.
Now, which do you think would be the front end?
Oh, they should be long nose, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Well, see, I'm a Norfolk Western, Norfolk Southern modeler, so we run everything long nose.
1644.
Yep.
Yes,
These were all
know.
run long end first.
I like them long. I like long nose looks right to me.
But they were only available without sound for 300. But as you go through their website, you see with all the Australian prototype, everything's sold out.
Yeah, everything they have, or do they just make that one line like a little one?
All of that class is sold out until the next release. But
That's the same thing that happens with scale trains or Rapido or any of these lower run volumes. Oh, I love those rail buses. Those were really cool.
Yeah, they were. I hit too many buttons. Come on, back down here, down here.
I'm gonna get going. I got a test tomorrow in algebra, so got to study for that.
All right, we'll see you, Eric. Have a good one.
All right, see you guys.
Good luck.
So they were buses that the New South Wales Government Railway had, and they're basically a bus that they've lifted up and put rail wheels underneath. They're basically they're called a pay bus, because this used to deliver all the pay packets to all the railway workers amongst all the stations on the line.
Yeah, payroll checks. Yeah. Those are very cool. Pretty expensive for what they are, but very cool.
And you can get them with sound, so they've got an actual recording. They're lock sound decoders in them, and they've got a prototypical that you recorded one of the real buses in New South Wales.
It sounds like a bus.
Yep, goes through the gears as you take off.
Yeah, that's cool. I dig it.
Well, this is what I'm waiting for. I've already put my pre-order in for a 4-car set. These are the trains I used to catch as a kid to go to school. They used to be called the old red rattlers.
Are you going to have catenary overhead wire?
Yeah, on certain parts. Because certain parts of the Victorian network had catenary and some didn't. There was a line that ran all the way down to Gippsland in southeastern Victoria, which is where all the coal fields are and the power stations were, and that was the only major line out of the city that had catenaries on it. And he used to run one of these locos. I've got 3 of these to go on it, and that was the L class.
Yeah, there's another Australian fellow who's got a pretty nice YouTube channel of keeping us up to date on his layout. That's got the multi-levels and a helix and this real big arch viaduct that's modeling those electric coal hauling trains. And I really like his stuff.
Well, they're an English electric loco, so they come directly from the UK. Like everything, Victorian Railways bought one and then they made them under license.
I'm looking forward to that guy who's posted on YouTube to him getting this railroad running, because I love a coal hauling railroad anyway. So that's going to be coal hauling railroad under catenary. It's going to be really cool looking.
Well, I think I done a pretty good job of confusing people tonight. Robert just come in. This isn't normal.
Listen, you got to normal for us is a pretty variable target already, Robert. So
What is normal?
Yeah.
There is no normal.
Not in model railroading.
Marty, you and I are the only normal ones.
Oh, really?
yeah, again, that the definition of normal is a big variance, a big variable there. Then if you're qualified as
There you go, Andy. They're
Well,
the
Andy,
Ossian car
Andy,
carriers.
here's the difference. I'm at home, I'm retired. You're at work on a Sunday.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm not
That's
always.
evening.
I'm not always though, but
But that's not normal.
I'm not normal. But I never claimed to be.
But you oppose it when I say Marty and I are the only normal ones.
So you're still
Because we're
normal.
knocked off.
$300 though. Oh, it's a
For a pack of 4.
All right, $75 a car. That's not bad.
And they're all metal. They're not plastic. They're all brass and.
That's even better because they now have the weight to them.
Yeah.
You run them empty and they still have some heft.
So I've got a couple of different ones. I've got this set that goes on it's only 150 because it's a 2-car set that runs on the end of the Southern Aurora, which is a passenger train.
Cars.
Yeah, and then these ones here I've got full of Volvos coming from the Volvo factory or the Nissan factory in Melbourne.
Yeah, I like those too. Those are cool cars too.
But they only covered the bottom ends in, not the tops.
Yeah, we did that a little bit over here for a very brief period. They had open frames, and then sometime around 1980 or something, I'm not sure when, they started putting side frames on them. And then real quickly after that, they're like, yeah, we got to put a roof on it too.
And now they have to contend with people doing their graffiti on there and cleaning the cars up when they get to destination.
Yeah.
Which is one reason why I think they started wrapping them with a plastic wrap.
That one's just come out of the Nissan factory with skylines on it.
Nissan Skyline?
Yep, Nissan Skylines. I did my apprenticeship at the Nissan factory.
Okay.
Or as it was called when I worked there, Datsun.
Yeah.
I had a Datsun pickup truck. Well, hey, Nancy, we haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well.
He's up late.
She just popped in. I think she just follows Sparky around.
Look out, Sparky.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Brad has joined us. How you doing?
I'm good, gentlemen. And Martin.
Oh, thanks, buddy. By the way, the proto throttle is working and working well.
Excellent.
So, unboxed and batteries in.
Unboxed, batteries in, and working. It's a bit of a joke about that. I was going to do that last week, and I got sidetracked with the remote control cars. And after PayPal copped a walloping, yeah, that was the end of the weekend. So I got nothing done on the proto throttle last weekend, and I got it all set up last night.
Hi, Z400. We'll catch you later. He says bedtime. He's got to go. Yeah, and I've had this thing up and running now for just over an hour, so.
Yeah, that was the end of the week.
I haven't seen any hiccups yet, and seems like everything's playing okay, so I'll probably just go ahead and shut the recording down.
I got rid of the hiccups hours ago.
Yeah. So you're finally sober?
Well,
all right, for those out there in the chat, appreciate you coming in here and helping us out, letting us know what it looked like and everything. So hopefully, Ralph's show is going to be the first test. That'll be Wednesday night, so we'll find. That's when Murphy, if he's going to show up, he's going to come in on me.
Damn.
Yeah, because Andy had to move his show to the
Oh,
18th.
that's right. I forgot about that. I thought maybe Andy's show was before me.
Well,
How
it
about
was,
that?
but he had to
You had
change
to
it.
change it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to be out of town this week to watch Nick graduate from boot camp.
I appreciate that, Sparky. He says it's always a good night hanging out with this panel, so appreciate that.
He can actually come and join the panel instead of being in the chat.
He's camera shy, Ralph.
Joe.
Model Railroading Live.
He's-
Whereby.
Ralph, he's camera shy.
Yeah, right. So turn your camera off.
Ralph, my bridge failed. Didn't hold.
No?
No. So I 3D printed one.
Hey, that always works.
It worked out great. Yeah, I'm just cleaning it up now. Yeah, it just didn't hold. I was using I could have tried something else, but I gotta wait 2 days. I figured I'll wait 2 days and print it in